There we go. All right, so let's just settle into our meditation posture. And just always keeping in mind, however it is you're turning up this evening, it's totally fine. So just settle in, kind of sink down into yourself. It's a good place to start before you start thinking about going to bed. And try and tune into a little bit of stillness. And if you're sitting at your desk, feet flat on the floor, keep your sits bones firmly on something firm and maybe a little bit raised. This is particularly if you're in a cross-legged position. Align the shoulders with the hips and imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. And imagine your head is very gently tipped forward, putting a little bit of length in the back of the neck. You can just wriggle your neck around if you need to stretch it out. Then bring your awareness to the crown of the head and relax the scalp and the forehead and the eyes, just your whole face. And then the back of the head, where the occipital bone is, and release any tension there. The ears, the inner ear, the jaw, the back of the tongue. Relax the back of the neck. Allow your shoulder blades to drop down. Relax the throat and the chest and the belly and all your limbs and your hands and fingers. Relax your feet and your toes. And bring the mind to the breath. Just notice the sensation of the air. Very subtle sensations as you're breathing in and breathing out. Just check you're not holding your breath. Nice, slow, steady breath. Just paying attention at the nostrils, the base of the nose, wherever you feel it strongest. If there are any sounds in your environment, you can just allow those sounds to be there. Try not to follow them around with your mind. Just keep the mind on the breath. And then allow the sounds to just sort of fade into the background. Then bring your mind back to the breath. And notice what thoughts are arising. What might be bubbling up to the surface this evening. Or this afternoon, maybe this morning for Jay. And if it's some problem, is it serious enough for you to be as worried about it as you might be? I always say, if you can do something about it, do it. If you can't, there's no point to worry. Although that's great advice. We tend to worry. But try not to. So try not to judge your thoughts or have opinions about them or criticize them. Just be aware of what's there in the mind. It's good to know, so it doesn't take you by surprise one day. As we're sitting on the bank of our river, so we're just this beautiful analogy, just watching that river flowing on by. And while we're sitting on the bank of that river, we're free from the river. Now you can bring to mind these people of our life, our loved ones. These are the folks who we are attached to, who we love, who we have deep and profound relationships with, light and happy relationships. Then there's those folk who are a bit of a struggle for us, and then there's our strangers. Remembering they can change place. Also remembering absolutely everybody wants to be happy. No one wants to suffer. And we all have this extraordinary capacity for this enlightened mind. So I think we'll be doing this practice this evening for the benefit of all these people of our life, and by extension, all the sentient beings. So remembering there is no negativity that cannot be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. We're just working with our mind here. So we create all this negativity with our mind. We create all our problems with our mind. We create illnesses with our mind. So we can equally create positivity with our mind instead. So we start with the power of regret. Sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all past lives, and think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general, regret all. The reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. We experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. So having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we cannot bear the thought of future suffering. We know from our present suffering we don't want it. So logically it makes sense to remove these karmic seeds before they ripen as suffering in the future for us. So we just regret from the depths of our heart, having harmed others with our body and our speech, having broken our vows, because we do not want the future suffering and just think I'm sick of suffering. You can also regret all of our attachments and anger and all our delusions. This is the cause of why we're harming others. And think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance, and we rely upon, we turn to the Buddha, the doctor, who has methods that we can use to purify. And it's not that we're needing the Buddha to forgive us. We're purifying ourselves by relying upon his methods. So we're basically healing ourselves using these methods. So Vajrasattva, imagine, comes to the crown of your head. You can also imagine he's your teacher, your guru, your trusted mentor, manifesting in this aspect, this Vajrasattva form for your benefit. So you can imagine on the crown of your head, just try and really get a sense of this Vajrasattva form being there. And imagine that's the mind of your guru above the crown of your head there, your teacher. And he's made of radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. Has a beautiful radiant face. His eyes are long, they're shaped like lotus petals, and they're peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two. And this symbolizes enlightenment, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings. So the very beings we've harmed, and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them, particularly for those who've harmed us, because the harm they've caused us will manifest as suffering for them in the future. So we think particularly of them, a wish for them to be free from suffering. So now we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the actual medicine doing the practice of purification. So we start with the body, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, It arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you have ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mibawa Sutokaya Mibawa Sipokaya Mibawa Anarakta Mibawa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mibawa Sutokaya Mibawa Sipokaya Mibawa Anarakta Mibawa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mibawa Sutokaya Mibawa Sipokaya Mibawa Anarakta Mibawa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mibawa Sutokaya Mibawa Sipokaya Mibawa Anarakta Mibawa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mibawa Sutokaya Mibawa Sipokaya Mibawa Anarakta Mibawa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mibawa Sutokaya Mibawa Sipokaya Mibawa Anarakta Mibawa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mibawa Sutokaya Mibawa Sipokaya Mibawa Anarakta Mibawa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. So the next is the purification of the speech, and Vajrasattva now very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown forcefully and filling your entire body, except this time coming up to the top of your body, pouring out all the negativity of your speech. And this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So you can just imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying, talking badly about others behind their backs, getting everyone to agree with you. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mibawa Sutokaya Mibawa Sipokaya Mibawa Anarakta Mibawa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mibawa Sutokaya Mibawa Sipokaya Mibawa Anarakta Mibawa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mibawa Sutokaya Mibawa Sipokaya Mibawa Anarakta Mibawa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mibawa Sutokaya Mibawa Sipokaya Mibawa Anarakta me boa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Dida me boa sutokaya me boa sipokaya me boa. Anarakta me boa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Dida me boa sutokaya me boa sipokaya me boa. Anarakta me boa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Dida me boa sutokaya me boa sipokaya me boa. Anarakta me boa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva aham pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified. And imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech. And the next is the purification of the mind. And Vajrasattva now very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart, and this arcs around and enters your crown, filling your entire body. So again, as we walk into a pitch black room and we switch on a light, the light dispels the darkness instantly. So it's the same here. The light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, and bang, all the negativity is gone, all the delusions gone, all the anger gone, all the bitterness and grudges and anxieties and attachments and grasping and worries, all gone as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Dida me boa sutokaya me boa sipokaya me boa. Anarakta me boa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Dida me boa sutokaya me boa sipokaya me boa. Anarakta me boa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Dida me boa sutokaya me boa sipokaya me boa. Anarakta me boa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Dida me boa sutokaya me boa sipokaya me boa. Anarakta me boa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Dida me boa sutokaya me boa sipokaya me boa. Anarakta me boa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Dida me boa sutokaya me boa sipokaya me boa. Anarakta me boa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Dida me boa sutokaya me boa sipokaya me boa. Anarakta me boa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva aham pe. So again, be delighted that all of your delusions, which are the source of all of your own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are totally gone, purified, finished. I think there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and wisdom and bliss, creativity, compassion, phenomenal intelligence, awareness. So next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And this time imagine the Vajrasattva very happily again sends light and nectar, and it fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mipi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sutam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. And now feel completely purified in this. Not even the tiniest atom of negative energy in your mind stream. Even the imprints have gone. And next is a power of resolve, and here we make a determination to try and refrain from harming, to not harm. So again, just reflect on something that you've been working on. Rejoice in your progress and your efforts. And just know that it's okay if you're hitting on something that's a little bit habitual, a little bit more difficult to get on top of. But just know that even by thinking about it, you're already there. So take heart. Change takes time sometimes. Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wanting to merge with. Your mind melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown, and think, my guru's body, speech, and mind, and Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same thing. And next, Rinpoche recommends to meditate on the emptiness of the three circles. In emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, just place your mind there for a moment. Just think all phenomena are empty. They don't exist from their own side. And you can also think that perhaps the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created by doing this purification to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. So for His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso, I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And for Lama Zopa Rinpoche, Tub Shu Chang Shin Jam Gon Galloway, Tenzin Kyong Pelaway, Konzo Dog Porze, Chog Sum Kurway Leg Mon to Drub, Dog Sog Dulaje, Gondu Jab Ten Shog. And for Lama Ursel Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us and intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request, O Lama, please, please live long. And for Geshe Sharab, beloved teacher, leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path, you are the unequal guide. Please live a long and stable life. There we go again. Another evening practice finished. Thank you, everybody, so much. So lovely to see you all. And I'll see some of you tomorrow morning, and we will do Tara. Thank you for the suggestion. Okay. Lots of love, everyone.
Thank you very